Okay, thank you for joining me today. Today we're going to talk about AI, leveraging it in a CRM system and helping our pre-sales teams to automate some of the research that goes into leads and also those proposal teams putting together that initial executive summary. So we're going to talk a little bit about how I came up with a really simple um, Zoho Deluge code to reach out to the OpenAI API using the OpenAI REST API to engage in a conversation and have OpenAI return some information for our sales teams. Let's start out like we always do. What are we solving for? Although lead research cost, it comes at a cost. So we have to understand that every time someone clicks around and looks up a company, they are summarizing it. They may or may not put it into a CRM record, may not get documented, but there is time in that research. Account profile research costs. So we're looking at costs associated with looking at existing accounts. So these are customers of ours, building a profile, understanding how many employees, what industry, just summarizing what that account or who that account is. So the other thing that's interesting is just having low impact executive summaries. So executive summaries sit at the top of a proposal, and oftentimes this is the first thing that a customer may read. And so you want something that's powerful, to the point, summarizes your X amount of page proposal, and oftentimes those are low impact statements. So we want to bring that up to par. So and then obviously reducing resource overhead. So those people who are doing this research, going out and doing administrative tasks, they could be doing other things. So I always add that point. So if AI can do this work for us, then we're going to save a bunch of resource time. Okay, the cost of lead research, for example. So, you may have a burden rate after all is said and done. You paid the employee, you've got benefits tied to that employee, you have commissions tied to that employee. We're just going to use $100 an hour. It may take half an hour to do research on leads. And then, yeah, let's just say 6,000 leads a year. So we're looking at about 300K a year in potential savings. So we got three use cases. First one, this is coming from a web form or a trade event, however you bring in leads. They typically come in with a name, organization, maybe a state, an email, a phone number, and maybe some notes at best. And so what we're doing here is we're saying, I'm just going to use Zoho Forms. I'll demonstrate this in a second. We're going to bring that into Zoho Leads. That record really doesn't mean a whole lot other than the things that I just mentioned. What we're going to do is when that lead is created, we're going to use the REST API to go out and ask OpenAI for some information. And specifically, we're going to ask for a company overview, a size, their website, and maybe what industry that they belong to. And then bring that information back in to the record. And when a salesperson touches it, so if marketing is creating the lead or it comes in off a website, basically we want that the salesperson is handed a solid lead, something that they can look at, understand right away what type of customer this is, categorize it, and make the next move. So this is just lead intake, pretty simple. The second one is existing accounts. So you may have accounts built out in your CRM, and for demonstration purposes, we're just going to use a button. So anyone can go into that account record, click the button, and ask for some more information, very similar to what we did up here in the leads, except this is going to be purposeful. So you're going to initiate it, and it's going to come back with some more information. And how this is helpful is just understanding, maybe having a strategic approach to account management, um, retention. So you may have new account managers taking over existing accounts. How nice would it be to summarize those accounts for those new account managers? And lastly, we're going to look at from a deals perspective. So if we look at and we take existing deal that's going through a proposal process, so it's early stage, you have a proposal team or anyone that's creating a proposal, we're going to have a button here that does another REST API call to OpenAI using the GPT-40 or 4.0, sorry. And we're going to ask it to put together an executive summary for us. So this is going to be an interesting save time and put together an impactful statement. All right, so let's just take a look in summary. Potentially 300K plus in annual savings for SMBs. Significantly reduce the research time for sales and marketing. All those leads that come in, it's nice to know a little bit about them. And when I'm asking OpenAI for this information, I'm simply just asking for a quick summary, 2 to 3 sentences, go. All right, strategic value. So bringing back those summary, that information, showing the website, number of employees, all of those kind of things that are accessible and AI can bring back to us are going to be helpful for account management. And then again, we talked about the impactful executive summaries for proposal teams. So let's see what this looks like in action. So I've got my lead intake here, and I'll fill it out with my normal just in time. I'll say, because I'm in the Pacific Northwest, I'm just going to say Microsoft. Oops. Okay. And my state is going to be Washington. And I made this with Zoho Forms. This can be embedded into any corporate website. In fact, I would highly recommend doing that. Do something like this. Phone 555 phone, and we'll do something like this, and a little bit more. Please call me immediately. Okay, great. I'm going to submit this form. A couple of things are happening. So this has an integration. I've built an integration between Forms and my CRM. It's going to flow into the CRM as a lead, brand new lead. It's going to auto assign it to a salesperson based on assignment rules. And it's going to take that form and attach it to the record. So as a salesperson, you can just have that information right away. All right, so let's see if we've built the record here in CRM. So we'll take a look at leads. Sometimes it takes a second to do that. Okay, and we can see here we have our lead that flowed in from the intake form. And let's just go ahead and open it up. Okay, good. So it looks like it didn't grab the number of employees, but it did give us a summary. It did give us the Microsoft web page, which was nice. And let's take a look at the summary and what it says. So I've essentially asked it to tell me where it's based, a little company overview, how many employees, what is their market share, what's their revenue per year, and include a couple of products that they are known for selling. And so this is what ChatGPT or OpenAI actually brought back to me. Really nice for salespeople to get into this record and immediately understand in a couple of sentences who this company is. And there's the website. And I've got all the other information, including my attachment down here. And you can see. Okay, great. All right, so that's really simple. The next thing I want to show you are accounts. So if we go to, let's just say we've got this account here, this Alabama Medicaid, for example. So I'm just going to quickly remove this here. All right, and maybe I'll remove the website as well, just to kind of demonstrate what this can do. You'll notice here I have a button. So behind that button is some deluge code that calls out the REST API call and brings back some information for us. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit this button. I've put about a 4-second delay. I've noticed it's about 3 to 4 seconds before it actually returns something. Give my user an update here that says, hey, you may need to refresh your browser. Actually, hitting this X will automatically refresh the record. And as you can see, I now have my website address for this organization, and I've got a nice little summary of what the Alabama Medicaid provides. So super simple, straight to the point. So let's go ahead and go to our deals, and I'll show you that last use case. And I'm going to use Alabama Healthcare again as my deal. So let's go down here. And you can see here, I've done an executive summary already as a test, but I'm going to go ahead and remove this. All right, so I've got a little block here for executive summary. The cool thing about this is this field can be used to pull into a mail merge document in Zoho. So if your proposal team has a proposal template sitting in Writer, we can use this field and automatically populate the executive summary field. Now that gets the proposal teams a really quick start on this here. So, all right, good. So again, I have this executive summary button this time, and I've asked it some different questions. I've basically asked it, told a little bit about my company, and I've asked it to put together this quick summary. So let's go ahead and hit that. Again, 3 to 4 seconds. I put a little delay in there. It'll pop up with a message. Great. And we have an executive summary. And you can see it's a beautiful start to a proposal. It's impactful, and it tells a little bit about what we are going to be providing from a service perspective or whatever offering I have. You can tailor this to however you want it, however you want to interact with the OpenAI tool. But as you can see, we have a nice little executive summary to start off with. And this will be a game changer for any sales team that are putting out lots of proposals. And again, it gives them a head start with an impactful statement.